Today, we're looking at the latest camera to bring Canon's revolutionary RF mount to even more shooters. This is the new Canon EOS R100. And as you can see, it's tiny. Nevertheless, this camera is ideal for people who want to take their first step into Canon's mirrorless lineup, as it is the easiest, smallest, lightest camera to take RF lenses. And even if you weren't looking into the system before, if you are the type who wants the aesthetics and image quality of a dedicated interchangeable lens system, this is perhaps the place to start. So let's take a quick look. So what we've got here is an APS-C sensor that shoots 24.1 megapixel still images. Powered by the Digic 8 processor, some eagle-eyed viewers out there might notice that this is the same technology at the heart of Canon's previous M50 Mark II. Only this time, the camera can use all of Canon's new RF lenses, giving you an entryway into the greater RF system. And it's entry-level users who are really going to get the most out of the R100. Scene Intelligent Auto Mode, for example, takes care of pretty much any scenario, and they also allow you to adjust the image intuitively with options for background blur or brightness, as opposed to more traditional manual controls, which you do have as well. Canon's renowned dual pixel autofocus also returns with the R100, ensuring fast, accurate focusing for every picture you take with its 143 AF points. And it even has eye detection autofocus that's capable of tracking a subject's eye when their whole body is in the frame. And if you're into video, the R100 is also capable of shooting 4K video at up to 30 FPS or 1080p video up to 60 FPS. So if you haven't noticed already, I've actually got the R100 attached to a kit lens. This is the RFS 18 to 45mm f4.5 to 6.3 IS STM, and it's what we'll be using for today. On the side here, now you'll also see that I have a brand new lens. This is the RF 28mm f2.8 STM. This is what some might call a pancake lens, and as you can see, it too is pretty small. More on that later on though. One of the features Canon has brought back for this camera is the movie digest function, which creates 2-second preview clips of your photos as they're taken. This lets you grab a short video at the same time as your still image. It's a pretty neat feature that's only available in the hybrid auto mode. If movies aren't your thing though, and you're interested in burst photography instead, the R100 can shoot up to 3.5 FPS with servo AF or up to 6.5 FPS with one-shot AF. And for those wondering, the R100 doesn't have an in-body stabilizer, but when shooting videos at least, the digital stabilizer does in fact work in coordination with optical stabilization in a supported RF lens. So if your lens has stabilization built in, like the kit lens here does, it'll be enhanced when attached to the R100 in movie mode. Lastly, with a maximum ISO of 12,800 or 25,600 extended, the R100 can produce clear images in dimmer environments than a phone. As I've said it before already, but just in case I needed to remind you, the R100 is small, very small. At just 116.3 by 85.5 by 68.8 millimeters, it's the smallest camera in the RF system, and with that, it's also the lightest, at just 356 grams, body only of course. You can take the R100 just about anywhere, especially if you do end up pairing it with a lens as small as the new 28mm. Looking at the rear, the LCD is 3 inches diagonally with 1.04 million dots, while the EVF is 2.36 million dots, giving you a clear preview of the shot. Now, despite the small size, there's still room for some buttons here and a firm grip. The battery and SD card slot, meanwhile, are both located on the bottom. Surprisingly, there is in fact a 3.5mm microphone input, so you can attach a microphone if you want superior audio on the go. And if you want to transfer your photos on the go, you can do so automatically through the Image.Canon app, which can send your photos directly to your phone or to a cloud service like Google Photos, Photoshop Lightroom, or believe it or not, if you're an advanced user, you can even send them to Frame.io. Pretty cool. Just as a small note to those who might be coming from the EF system, the R100 does not work with the RF control ring adapter. So if you're adapting those lenses, just be aware of the limitation. Speaking of lenses though, let's take a look at that new 28mm pancake lens. The STM lens is a perfect lens for compact street photography, and the fast f2.8 aperture means it's up for fairly low light situations. We tried it out here on the EOS R8 and it worked beautifully. With a minimum focusing distance of 0.23 meters, a 7-blade aperture, and a control ring that can switch into a manual focusing ring, it can fit right into any photographer's kit. It feels pretty effortless to carry around. So that's it for a quick look at Canon's new EOS R100 and the RF 28mm f2.8 STM lens. Getting into a camera system can be a real commitment, so it's nice to see Canon opening the doors to even more shooters who want to get into the RF system, especially with a camera this small and accessible. So let us know in the comments below how you could use the R100 for your next project. I'm Doug with B&H, and I'll see you next time.